Hey guys, welcome to my channel, and in today's video I'll be showing you how to install VS Code in your local machines. And let's get started. So you have to go to this link, code.visualstudio.com. I'll be providing that in the description below, and you have to select which all platform you are using. So I have a Windows one. I'll be downloading for that. I have already downloaded it, so I'll open this VS Code user setup, which I have already downloaded. Click on accept. Next, we'll be installing it in my D drive. I'll click on next. Next, and create a desktop icon if you want. Make sure you select this add to path. And I'll click on next and install. And that's all. So it will open the VS Code for you. So if you are using Salesforce for your deployments and you want to integrate, or even you are using as a developer this VS Code, you have to go to extensions and search for Salesforce CLI integration. Click on this and let it install. So in that way, you will get all the tools which you need for your Salesforce development or deployment. Alright guys, once your SFDX CLI or Salesforce CLI integration is installed, which it is, you can start creating a workspace or project for you. So click on Ctrl Shift P in your keyboard and it will open this search bar and type in SFDX. So it will give you a different option which it is providing through this SFDX CLI. I want to create a new project, so I'll click on create project with manifest. It is activating the extension and right, and we are here. So you can create a standard project, empty project. I'll click on standard. You have to provide a project name for this. I'll give it as SFDX demo 1. Click on enter. So it will ask for a local location where this project will be created in my machine. Let me go to my D drive, DevOps, SFDX, demo project, create project, and this VS Code will automatically create a SFDX structure project for you. Now, currently, whatever is the latest API version, it will show here in your JSON file, which is 51. And if we go to manifest, there is a package.xml which we have usually in any kind of Salesforce related deployment which you have worked on. So here you can mention your package. So if developers have worked on, suppose, an Apex class, they have to provide that Apex class name, or star will essentially retrieve all the Apex class in your org. Just to give an example, I'll just remove this as a thing. I'll just keep the Apex classes. Now you have created your uh, project folder and other things, but it is not connected to any org. So it is showing no default org set. Now what SFDX provides is there are a lot of features. one of them being scratch org. So you can create a scratch org through this SFDX commands, but that is not our objective right now. Our objective is to retrieve our code or deploy our code through VS Code. So to achieve that, we have to connect it to our development org. So developers might have developed something in their org and their changes, they need to extract the metadata. So for that to happen, I'll again click on Control Shift P and start typing authorize, click on authorize an org. So authorize and dev hub is something related to the scratch org creation, which I mentioned, which we are not focusing. So I'll just authorize an org, a Salesforce org. Now you have to provide the login URL for that. Usually for any kind of production org or uh, is a training org, the URL will be usually login.salesforce.com. And if you are using any sandbox, it will be test.salesforce.com. So whatever your org's URL is, you select that, or you can type it in as well by selecting the custom if it is a custom URL. Currently, I'll be showing you in one of my test orgs. So the login URL for that is login.salesforce.com. So I'll click on this. I'll provide my org name as Salesforce. As soon as I click on that, it will run an SFDX command to authorize an org. If you can see, it is showing in the output SFDX force auth web login. So you don't have to manually type in any kind of command, SFDX command. VS Code does it for you. So if you can see, it has opened login.salesforce.com, which I have provided. If you are using a sandbox, as I mentioned, provide that link as test.salesforce.com, or if there is a custom link, you can select that as well. So what I'll do is I'll click on login with my org which I want to authorize. So a verification code will go to my email which I have to provide. So once that login happens, if you come to VS Code, it will show that authorize and org ran successfully. And it is showing me the name which I provided. And now if I try to extract the Apex classes, all the Apex classes in that org, I can do that. Now this is the sub folder if you are not used to SFDX structure. This is where all your components which you extract will be there. Let me just reveal it in the file explorer for you. It has list of all the components. Now currently we haven't extracted anything, so it will be all empty. Let me just delete everything, and what we want is the extract of all the Apex classes. So I'll right click and there is an option called retrieve source in manifest from org. What it does is as soon as we click on this, it will run SFDX commands and it will retrieve from the org which we have provided dev Salesforce, and it will get all the Apex classes which we have defined in the package.xml. So you have to make sure you have to right click on the package.xml. You can do it here anywhere, or you can do it here. So you will get this retrieve source in manifest from org option. So I'll just click on that. As soon as I click on this, it is running the command for SFDX from my org. And it is telling me that retrieve source from org ran successfully. So my retrieval is successful. Now suppose if you have made some mistake in your package.xml, or there are some certain components which you have mentioned which is not there in the org, it will not run successfully. It will give an error, and you have to make sure whether it is a syntactical error of your package.xml or it is some component which you have mentioned which is not correct. So now it ran successfully and it is showing me the list of all the classes which it took an extract. Let me go to this location, Here I can see there is a new folder called classes. If I open this, it has list of all the classes in my org. So this is how you can take the retrieval of the components which you have worked on, and that's pretty much it, how to retrieve. Now suppose as a developer you want to change something on this class. Suppose this is the class and you want to change this debug statement. You want to write in hello. You have to click on save. So how to push your changes into the org is through, you have to right click on just the file which you have changed, and you can select deploy source to org. So let me quickly log in into the Salesforce org to show you whether it is working or not. From setup, you have to go to deployment status. Once you open your deployment status, it will show the list of all the deployments or validations you have done. So right now, what I want to do is I want to deploy just the class change which I did. I'll right click on this and click on deploy source to org. As soon as I click on this, what it will do is it will take the change from my VS Code and deploy to the org. Let me click on this and it's running the deploy code. Let me refresh this page. And on today's date, so it is telling the deploy source to org ran successfully, and it has successfully deployed the class. If you see in the deployment status, since it was a very small component, I couldn't show you that exact circle which comes while deployment, but this change has happened. If you want to check that, let me open this class. What was the name? Port controller. Now the change was in line number 57. I have changed the debug statement as hello, showing my name as it I've changed it. And you can see in this debug statement, it has come. The latest change what I made has come. So our deployment is working successfully. So any kind of change which you want to do, or there are like multiple orgs, so you have taken an extract from a lower org, suppose this class, and you have another instance of VS Code open where some other org is checked out or authorized, like how this dev Salesforce org is, and you want to deploy it to that org, then just simply copy this and paste it that projects folders classes and open it and right click on deploy. So this is a very simple way, very basic way on how you can retrieve and deploy your code through VS Code. Now, this doesn't work in big projects or any proper project where there is version control and a lot of other changes. So this is just a very basic way on how we can do it. And I hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.